Hey, what's going on everyone? Nick Corona here and welcome to the channel. Today I'm gonna take you guys with me on a crazy adventure I had on my Brozz 250 here. I captured it all on my Cena helmet recorder, so I'm gonna narrate you guys through the story. One big thing you always hear about with these Brozz 250 motorcycles is cheap handlebars, and let me tell you, they're so cheap. Would you wanna ride with these? Look at this. Seriously, that happened to me on the trail. I'm so lucky I made it back. This is crap. Do yourself a favor, since this is a motorcycle, and get rid of these piece of shit handlebars. They'll get you killed. You need something thicker with a cross member. Seriously, for $75, you can get something like this at your motorcycle shop that can actually hold the weight of your bike. I don't know what they were thinking. You set dirt bikes down, they get laid down, these handlebars won't cut it. Replace this before you ever ride. All right, that's enough of my handlebar rant. Let's go on a ride.
Show me some. 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 Diamonds in my grill, you see me shining. 24s on that Cayenne when we ride. Now show me some. Show me some. Show me some. Show me some. Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. I hope you don't mind. I'm gonna go ahead and get on replacing this handlebar now while I tell you guys the story of how this happened. As you guys may or may not know, my bike has been sitting for a while, so I was very desperate to have a really good ride. So I headed out to Pipeline Trail, one of my favorite spots. Made it all the way down with almost no problems. Well, see, I'm already leaving stuff out. When I woke up that morning at 7 a.m. and went to kickstart my bike because it was dead, so already starting out with a really bad issue, I went to kickstart my bike and my boot caught this rear right fairing. I completely kicked, where is it? I completely kicked the Kickstarter off of my bike. Another bolt that rattled loose. Like I tell you guys, it happens a lot with this bike. You have to Loctite as much stuff as you can. And I'm using the red Loctite. Or actually, I'm sorry, it's blue Loctite. It's in a red container, but it's the removable one in case you ever have to take the parts off. I kicked the kickstart off my bike and caught the fairing, completely shattered it and ripped it off the bike. So that was the start of my ride. I didn't want to let it ruin my day, so I put the kickstart back on, got the bike to start, put it in my backpack just in case I need it again. The fairing was able to stay on and I just wanted to ignore it and go on with my trip. So I head out to the Pipeline Trail. I get out there, I have a nice ride, take a few photos, everything's going good, and then I go down the treacherous part of the path to get over to Table Mesa Road, where I also had a nice cruise, but this is where things started to go downhill because I chose a path that was more intense than I should have because I like the intense paths. I didn't want to turn around when I should have turned around because I hate turning around. And then I got myself into a really bad position, as you guys will see here. Hell yeah, look at that. Oh man. Hopefully she's not too intense. It totally could be. That's pretty vertical right there. And then what? I just gotta look at this. Oh my god. Made it easy. Well, don't go that way. Because that way, If you fall that way, it's death. Bad idea. Because it gets worse. I think I'm gonna, man, I really might try and go back. Because what I just, and I was in a really bad position, which I was totally lucky to get out of, and had to sit there and wrench the bike between some cactuses and the edge of a cliff for about 30 minutes. When I tried to get back up the hill, the Brozz just couldn't make it. It's not jetted properly and it can't handle it. So it died on me, and I rolled backwards down the side of a mountain through a couple cactuses. Hopefully didn't get a flat tire. Got some cactuses in my back. Oh, if it didn't die on me, I had it. Oh shit. It didn't work. God damn it. All right, now we're in a fun spot, guys. I probably can't get it forward, which means, okay, I'm gonna go backwards and turn it and hope that we don't get a fucking thorn. Was able to kind of shim the bike around and find a trail down through these where I eventually made it down to the road, and I mean, I was completely exhausted. We got this, Brozz. Guys, this bike, it's a good bike, but right there, if I had a Honda or a Kawasaki or something that wouldn't die on me, I would have got right out. Shit. This is the worst position to be in, but let's get through it. You know, it's like life. Sometimes you just gotta slow down and walk her. This would be a good spot to not fuck the bike up. Okay, when it goes, it's gonna go. Shit! That was the worst stuck I've ever been. And at this point, I mean, I'm on a road where people do come down it, so I probably would, you know, find someone eventually, but you know, the whole time I'm just thinking like this bike is my way home, you know, and so that was kind of the thought process. So I finally get out, and I'm like, after that I've been riding for a few hours. I just had this, you know, really crazy experience where I was stuck in a bad spot, and I was just like ready to be done. I was ready to head home. So I start heading back on the trail. First thing, I go to do this random little U-turn because I thought I saw something, and just the bike front tire just shoots out on me. These recon tires, guys, you would think the knobs would only be better, but I think it's only better if you're in like soft gravel, dirt, mud. When you're on hard surfaces, you just have less tire touching. And they're new, so the rubber's like really glossy, and it just shot out on me. Took a spill for no reason. No big deal, kept riding. Rode all the way down till Table Mesa comes to where you get on to the pipeline trail. It's a really tough uphill. It might be, I don't even know, 600 or 700 feet, very vertically. I've made it up it a few times with my old tires, but since then it had rained, and I was attempting it with these recon tires. I thought I had it, first attempt, really far up, shoots out. This is really bad at this point because I'm really far away from home. I'm on the side of this mountain, and when the back tire shoots out, the bike goes down, the handlebar starts to bend. This is where things start to get scary. It's not too bad at this. Start the bike is just dead. So super bad situation. Only advantage I have is being on the side of a mountain, so I can roll down and pop my clutch, get the bike started, and attempt it again because it's the only way home. And the same exact thing happens, only this time the handlebar bends all the way up to a vertical position. So I'm scared that I'm gonna lose my handlebar at this point, and I still don't want to deal with finding an alternative way home.
Oh my God. Well,
So, on the side of the mountain, trying to get back to the trail to take me home, I'm able to bend the handlebar back down far enough to be reasonable. I'm trying to be careful not to snap it off like I just did because, as you guys could tell, it's very brittle. I was able to go down the mountain, but now that my handlebar's messed up, it's so messed up, I can't even get back up the standard trail because I can barely hold the bike straight. And I'm just, guys, I'm exhausted at this point because I've already spent times of like dragging the bike out of a crazy position. It's heating up, it's approaching degrees now, I'm out in the desert. So I decided to go down the wash. So it's very sandy and I'm just keeping the RPMs up because at this point, if the engine dies, my only way to restart it is by taking the kickstart out of my backpack, putting it on the bike and wailing on it. And as you can tell from the video, I'm like about dead. I'm already completely out of breath. So I barely made it. Just kept the RPMs up and I was able to pop up onto Table Mesa Road, you know, which is just a more solid road that cars drive on and stuff. And from that point, I decided to go over to the highway, which is another scary thing that presents itself because I've never taken this bike on the highway. Here I am about to get on. I feel like my handlebar's bent, so I'm riding like this. And I gotta say, I was actually really impressed. I've only ever gotten this bike up to about 70, and with the recon tire, it barely does that. When I took this thing, man, it sailed. I immediately was going 80 miles an hour. And it wasn't so bad, between, you know, maybe 75 uphill, 80, but you know, there's still one more issue coming my way. Now that's gonna be fun to take all that stuff out. There's one more issue coming my way that I'm just pretty unaware of. I'm very lucky to be making this video for you guys, given what happened next. I made it off the highway to my exit. On my exit, there's like a left turn and there's a dirt trail right next to the road, so you can kind of like skip the light and take the trail. So I turned onto this trail about a mile away from my home, and there's a little bump. I kind of pop the front wheel over it, the back wheel goes into it, and immediately fully locks up. The back wheel goes from like 30 miles an hour to 0, and I am just drifting sideways to a complete stop. I just set the bike over. It is leaking gas, and the rear tire is all the way up against the fender like when you get it in the crate. When I hit that bump, the bolt that connects the main spring to the swing arm fell out, causing the bike to just slam down. And in the moment, you know, no big deal. I got off the bike, I was able to go find a piece of scrap metal on the ground, and I twined it up together, make it thicker, and fed it through there, and it was just enough that I could like get the bike 1 mile home until I could, you know, get here and replace the parts. But I can't help but to think how tragic that could have been if it fell out on the highway a minute earlier when I was doing 80 miles an hour. I definitely feel like I have a guardian angel that was watching out for me in that instance, because it was just so dangerous. And those are the reasons why I don't have motorcycles, why I went a while without having a motorcycle, because there's a lot of things like that are just so, you know, like a deer running out in front of you, things you can't prevent. And the thing that I'm beating myself up about this is, you know, that bolt is one of the ones that you put in yourself. And so I know that I didn't go back and properly torque that bolt with a torque wrench. I probably just tightened it really hard and was like, I'll come back to it or something. But it just all kind of boils back into like, if you're gonna get one of these bikes, you have to be very efficient mechanically what you're doing. I'm average. I missed something like that. And there's other things I missed that I'm, you know, now I'm going back through and really with the fine tooth comb looking over these things, and I'll definitely be more skeptical of this bike when I'm, you know, even riding it on the highway or anything, because who knows what could happen. Now these new handlebars are quite a bit of a different shape, but I don't care as long as they're stronger, you know. I'm glad I didn't get thicker ones too. I saw they have thicker ones, and I will say my concern was that they wouldn't maybe fit on this bike, and I think I'm right. I got a standard size handlebar from the store, and it seems just right. So yeah, guys, I had a really rough time with this bike in one day, and it really upset me to the point where at the end of it, I was like, I hate this bike and I want to go sell it, and I don't recommend it to anyone because it's so dangerous. But then, you know, all bikes are dangerous, and like, I can't help but to put that one on me a little bit because of the bolt that fell out. But you know, then there's things like if you buy a Kawasaki, you just never have to worry about that. The bikes are just set up in ways where like the bolts are torqued, and they're also bolts that just won't fall out. Like a lock nut on that now. Why didn't it come with one originally? Sounds like a really sweet car behind me. But yeah, guys, I think these new handlebars are gonna be great. I've never changed handlebars over before, so I'm gonna be figuring out how to pull the handle off and all the accessories and putting them on these new bars. And then I'm gonna apply a little bit of the red Loctite once I get them, you know, at the angle that I like, and really screw them in there, because I don't ever want to deal with handlebar stuff again. And that's my advice, you know, kind of to conclude this video for you guys. Obviously, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this story and can take something out of what happened to me and make your riding experience better. Like if you watch this video, please go check that exact bolt and make sure that it is freaking cranked. Check all your important bolts. Guys, go to Harbor Freight, okay? Harbor Freight is the cheapest hardware store ever. You can get a lot of tools that you need for this bike for, you know, a fraction of the price. And the one thing that you're gonna need besides a good, you know, socket set and standard tools is you are going to need a torque wrench. You know what, I hope this helps one person. I'm gonna grab it really quick just to show you guys. If this helps one person, it was so worth doing. Guys, when you put this bike together, even if you go to Brozz250.com, right at the top it has the torque specs, and it's a big list, and it has every bolt on this bike and a number next to it. It'll say like front wheel axle bolt 45 to 65. That means 45 to 65 pounds of pressure when you turn it. That's how tight it needs to be to not fall off. You can get this torque wrench, I think it was $15 at Harbor Freight. It has a little handle and you just twist it to what you want. So see, mine's on 55 right now. So what happens is you just put your socket on, you start turning, and when you turn with 55 pounds of force, it kind of pops. It makes a little click and you feel it, and then you know that everything is good. If I would have done this to that bolt, it wouldn't have fallen out. It would still be in there. And I know I didn't do it. So do me a favor, guys. If you're gonna get a Brozz, you're gonna have to do work on it yourself. If you don't wanna do work on it yourself, I'm sorry, just don't get a Brozz. So for those of you getting it, get real familiar with a torque wrench and make sure you use it every time you work on your bike on any major components. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you had a great time coming on this adventure with me. I'm so glad that everything panned out okay and I was able to make it back and make this cool video for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you guys want to see more of. Let me know what you think of this. What do you think of the bike? What are your experiences like? What should I ride next? Let me know what you guys think. Till next time, peace.